It's the final stage of this year's Czech Tour. Stage 4 from Šumperk to Šternberk, over 129 kilometres. You see 21 degrees, a little bit cooler than it has been over the last few days. Elevation gain today is just under 2,000 metres. Today's stage is a punchy stage with 4 laps of a 7-kilometre circuit, including a short, steep climb on every lap. Jerseys were on parade. But let's look back at yesterday's stage. Yesterday's stage was from Moravská Třebová to Dlouhé Strany, and it was very active right from the start as Sleduj Trek. But eventually it was a group of 15 riders that got away in the end. They never really got much more than a minute's lead. Kubis, the Slovakian champion, was there. So was Christy Johnson from the Cachet team there in the purple, over the top of the climb. But it was on the final climb. Corleone for Intermarché went, and over the top, the Londoner Thomas Glog. And at this stage, he only had a handful of seconds, but he was determined, wasn't he? Kicking over those pedals into the last kilometre. Glog was just going rounding one of the final corners, but Hershey was on his case, but he never caught him. And first pro victory went to Thomas Glog of Visma Lease Bike, and well deserved at that. So we start in Šumperk today, in the Square of Freedom. We pretty much head east. A couple of sections open. We've got a westerly wind, so helping the riders most of the way to the finishing line. Very tricky final. 7-kilometre lap in Šternberk. Very steep climb, only 900 metres, but just over 8%. So we are expecting fireworks. This race isn't over, although our race leader, Mark Hirschi, has got a 22-second gap over second place teammate Diego Alesi. So all smiles at the start, well, half smiles. Alaphilippe there on the right hand side. This could be a stage for him. AT&T have got that King of the Mountains jersey from Michael Schuren. I can tell you that he is in the breakaway. He is set to possibly win that. Marco Brenner, the young German rider, German champion. Sergio Gita, third overall for Bora. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. Another good stage for him today. Cesare Benedetti on the right, his penultimate race. But it's this man here, Mark Hirschi, the 25-year-old Swiss rider. Won a couple of days ago, second yesterday, consolidated his lead. Can he hold on? His teammate 22 seconds behind. Martin Volta, the best Czech rider in that ace red jersey. He's held that for a couple of days. Bit of a rainy start. First thing this morning at 6 o'clock, it was absolutely throwing it down. It is due to dry up a little bit. Diego Alesi in that points jersey. He doesn't own that jersey. It's owned by his teammate Mark Hirschi. Hirschi having not only the points jersey, but the King of the Mountains also. But that could change today, of course. Leopold Koenig, the race director of this race. And of course, this is a 2.1 race. Big ambitions for the Czech Tour over the next few years. Hoping to go to the World Tour, the highest of the rankings when it comes to races. And I have to say, being here myself, it's been a great race. Last kilometre zero, and the flag is waved. And quite a damp start. No one attacking just for the moment anyway, but Slovakian champion Kubis, the first to attack, looking around, taking with him one of the Flanders riders. This is on a short stage today, 129 kilometres. You can see Michael Schuren, the King of the Mountains, in that Main Squared polka dot jersey. Equal in points to the leader of that competition and the race leader, Mark Hirschi. And with two climbs, two second category climbs on the stage today, he's trying to secure that jersey. looks like Aaron van Poelke of Flanders. So 4 riders just off the front of the main field. This was earlier on this morning, just after the start. As we can see, that the sun is out, the roads are starting to dry. Looks like Mats Wentz of the Lido Trek team as well. And as we can see, 6 riders now just off the front of the main group. I believe at this stage they had about 2.5 minutes. King of the Mountains is there. Michael Schuren of AT&T and Investments just coming up to the first and only sprint of the day. Kubis, who was very active yesterday, in fact, the most active rider, wearing the red numbers today, the Slovakian champion, just rolls round the corner into the last few hundred metres of the sprint. No real reaction from anybody else, so it's a roll through for this one. Lucas Kubis taking maximum points. Nice smile. Otmar Eindhoven taking the second place. Van Poelke for Flanders the third place, but no real competition in that sprint. The best placed in this group of 6 riders is in fact Mats Wenso of Lido Trek. 4 minutes and 27. On to the King of the Mountains. And it was the King of the Mountains leader leading the way. And I can tell you, we have, I think, just gone over the King of the Mountains point. You can see the wind is blowing, but it's kind of helping the riders. It's up to about 24 kilometres an hour. So over the top, maximum points for Lucas Kubis. And that will mean mathematically he cannot be beaten in that competition. So not only is AT&T Investments looking at this King of the Mountains jersey, but also trying to look at other competitions as well. But well done to AT&T and Michael Schuren. He's secured that competition. He only has to finish today. So I'll just go through the riders in this breakaway. We're down to 5 riders. We did have 6. Otmar Eindhoven looks as if he's been dropped. So we're seeing live pictures with 45 kilometres to go. So the sprinter, third in the first stage, there he is there, just been swept up by the Soudal Quick Step team. I did say at the presentation that a good stage for Alaphilippe this one, and I don't think the star rider will want to go away from this race empty-handed. So left in the breakaway is Michael Schuren, the King of the Mountains, Charles Page of TDT Unibet, Mats Wenso, Lido, Lucas Kubis from Elkov, the Slovakian champion, and of course Van Poelke of Flanders. So taking this one on, the race has already split in some crosswind sections a little bit earlier, broke into about 3 parts, the peloton. And also braking here as well. So this is the Savinik, is a castle in the same village in the Low Jasinic landscape. It was built in the first third of the 14th century. The Gothically and Renaissance expanded into early Baroque rebuild. Back to the racing, and unfortunately the pace over the top of that second category climb there. Too much for the TDT rider. Charles Page, the rider from Great Britain, 23-year-old from Blackburn, a neo-pro. But it's the pressure of Soudal Quickstep now. Really splitting the peloton up. You see it in the distance. This is the second time it's happened today. Unfortunately, Josef Černý, the local Czech rider, was involved with a crash. He got back up, he got a bike change, and now made it into the front of this race. The yellow jersey is there. Who has missed out? As you can see, 5 of the Soudal Quickstep riders there. Diego Lisi in that kind of greeny jersey just in front of Mark Hirschi. It's a small group. You see the wind is blowing from the west, but as we start to swing south, the riders start to be buffeted from the wind from the right hand side. Big split here. So only 4 riders left in this group. The last time we had a crosswind section, only a matter of about 20-25 minutes ago, it broke into 3 groups. And the gap came down to about 1 minute and 40 from a maximum of 2 minutes and 30 to the breakaway. So I did say it's a punchy stage today, and definitely a stage for the likes of Alaphilippe, but also Mark Hirschi has to be one of the riders that this stage is suited for as well. He leads this race by 22 seconds from his teammate Diego Lisi. Sitting a little bit further back at 30 seconds, 31 seconds in fact, is Sergio Higuita of the Red Bull team. So the yellow jersey group, led by Soudal Quickstep, just about to be joined by another 8 or 9 riders. So a short stage today of 129. 4 laps of a 7-kilometre circuit towards the ends. There's a 900-metre climb, just over 8% on average. And now we have a very, very select group here. This Melissa bike in the yellow, just on the left-hand side, just joining. They kind of missed out in the first group. They had a great win by Thomas Gloag yesterday, first pro win of his career. But it's Soudal Quickstep taking this one on in the blue. Ineos Grenadiers also involved here with numbers towards the front. So the last stage here in the Czech Tour, an opportunity for a stage one. Also an opportunity for maybe some movement in the general classification. This is the Church of the Virgin Mary of Šternberk. In 1371, Peter of Šternberk built this Gothic church. So the young under-23 champion of Luxembourg leading the way here. He's actually king of the mountains in last year's Tour of Luxembourg. A look behind from Kubis, the Slovakian champion. He has been very active in this race so far. A couple of days ago he was involved with the first break of the day, never survived. Then he was in the break yesterday, again in the break today. Those red numbers signifying the most active rider. Too much for the King of the Mountains, Michael Schoen, but he's already done what he had to do. Win that first second category climb, secure that King of the Mountains jersey. It's James Knox, who did a lot of riding yesterday, and you can see this gap coming right down to about 10 seconds now. So James Knox setting the pace at the front of the yellow jersey group. An acceleration here from Mats Wenso of Lidl Trek. He doesn't want to be caught yet. Kubis goes with him. Aaron van Poelke, the 26-year-old from Bruges in Belgium. So Vervaeke is there, Brenner, the white jersey. So most of the protagonists still involved in the general classification. And in fact, over the history, we've been here in this stage, in this finish, especially in this circuit, over the last 5 years. Last year it was a damp finish. The weather conditions are drying up in Šternberk here. Ulysses, and he's looking after Mark Hirschi in the yellow jersey. I'm not too sure what other riders that Mark Hirschi's got with him. Pavel Bittner has made it here, looking after Kevin Vermaak. But it's the young Luxembourger setting the pace now inside the last 40 kilometres. You have to say that Kubis has possibly been the most active rider in the whole of this race, and not just yesterday's stage. Just looking down at this group, still led by the numbers of Soudal Quickstep. These three still determined, especially Wenzel, trying to come onto this very difficult finishing circuit. But Soudal Quickstep have got other plans with Julian Alaphilippe Alaphilippe a couple of days ago, he was sitting in 7th place, wasn't he? Now slipping down the order to 31st. It's 6.5 minutes down, so he does have the freedom when he goes on the attack. Just looking further down this group. Cannot see any other UE Team Emirates riders in the group. So it's only Hirschi and Ulissi in this front group. So this will be music to some of the other GC contenders. And they'll clearly see that, and they stand out, don't they, in the green and the yellow jersey, that they don't have the numbers here. Of course, they lost Alvaro Hodge after stage 1. In fact, we started the day with 136 riders. We've only lost 10 in this race over the last 3 stages. But Hirschi, he had to rely on Ulissi yesterday, didn't he, on the climb up towards the finishing line at Glohe Strani. And then Ulissi manages to get 3rd place there. Kasper Asgreen and James Knox both at the front here. Joseph Cherny was involved with a crash. Can't see him in this group. So possibly the only rider missing from Soudal Quickstep in this leading group. Kubis, Wenzel and Van Poker determined to try and stay away. As we see, the best place. No real danger in the general classification at over 4.5 minutes. But they're really not interested in general classification. Trying to get something from the stage. Stages have been short and punchy here at this year's Czech Tour. Longest stage, 2nd stage, 172 kilometres. So plenty of numbers there for Soudal Quickstep. It's a race they always like to come and enjoy. Okay, they missed out. They never came to this race last year, but it's a race that they're very determined. So a group of about 30 riders at the front of the race. And with this westerly wind not hanging about, first hour, at 42 kilometres an hour. They've just gone below that at 41.3 now. 3 riders here in the front, just taking out a little bit more of an advantage. So this is the 16th edition of the Czech Tour. Since 2015 it's been a 2.1 UCI race. So the King of the Mountains, Michael Schuren, just has to get to the finish now. And he's secured that King of the Mountains jersey. Clearly a plan. A couple of days ago, I remember the first stage, we had 2 leaders. He took the 3rd over the climb of the day. Alaphilippe just moving up, just communicating with his team. And they've got Catania here at the front, a real workhorse. James Knox. This is the the French rider within the team, Antoine Hubie. Casper Asgreen, another big powerhouse. Lamperti still involved. Lamperti, the winner of the first stage. He's the 5th rider from the front. Just trying to look further down this group to see if there's any of the general classification have missed out. You can see that Higuita's there, Brenner definitely there. I think Ineos Grenadiers have Andrew August sitting in 7th place. So 3 in front, been driven on, you have to say, by the Lido Trek rider Mats Wenzel, the 21-year-old. And it's not the first time I've seen him. He's involved with the breakaway yesterday. So 2 riders here, Kubis and Wenzel, were in the 15-man break of yesterday's stage. Recovered well overnight in this breakaway again today. And it won't be long until we finish. We go across the finish for the first time. We come in the opposite direction, we turn left into a narrow section. We come on to the town centre cobbled area, and then we swing again with just under 200 metres to go to the finishing line, and then there'll be 28.1 kilometres to go to the finish. So Higuita is there, Vermark, looks like Brunner, August. Trying to see if Michael Storer is in this group. I think, is that Storer in towards the back in the black of Tudor Pro Cycling, the red helmet? If it is, he doesn't have many teammates with him, or any at all. So these kilometres are ticking by quickly, and it won't be long until they're into Šternberk. Šternberk having its own castle, town in the Olomouc region. Only 13,000 inhabitants. If you're into car racing, they've got a racing track called Iki Homo, where it's a hill climb car race, first established in 1905. So just looking there, 2 riders in fact. That was Michael Storer, and of course they've got the white jersey of Mark Brunner. So it looks as if Tudor Pro Cycling have 3 riders in this front group. And of course a big opportunity yesterday for Michael Storer. He tried several times, unfortunately. Here she was up for the challenge. Michael Storer 6th in the general classification at 50 seconds. It will be interesting to see when we come on to this finishing circuit, and I'm assuming that, you know, we are going to see that attack from Julien Alaphilippe over 6 minutes down. I do not think we'll see a reaction from Hirschi and Elise, but who will be trying to gain some time. Will we see any challenges in the general classification? Higuita needing 31 seconds, Kevin Vermark 38, and Brenner 38 seconds also. Storer, just mentioned, 50, August 54, Donovan 55, and Bono 55 as well, 56 to Dina. This is this tricky run in. TV compound just on the right hand side. We swing down here and we turn left. Gets a little bit narrow. Oops. motorbike down. I did say it was a very kind of tight left-hander. I hope he's okay. Then we come on to the cobbles here. Swing left. And it just rises up ever so slightly to the finishing line. That corner coming with about 150 metres to go. So across the line for the first time, led by the young 21-year-old Luxembourg champion under 23s. Max Wenzel of Little Trek, Kubis, Relkov, a Slovakian champion, and Aaron van Pucke from Flanders. You can see a very tricky finish to the day as we head out of town again. So a lot of corners in town, and it's actually Kasper Asgreen. That's Donovan towards the back there in the Q36.5. So most of the top 10, I think all of the top 10 is here. Just trying to think potential stage winners. Already kind of picked out Alaphilippe. And of course, over the history, just mentioned it before, the Šternberk Castle sits right in the middle of the town here, 13,000 inhabitants. Quite a lovely town, nice church, castle, nice square to finish the race on today, and this has featured in the race in the last 5 years. So gap coming down a little bit now to 13 seconds. Aaron van Pucke tried a couple of days ago as well to get in. He was one of the first attackers. Quite often we see Aaron van Pucke, a breakaway protagonist. But by the looks of things, Soudal Quickstep really interested in trying to get this stage win. Of course, they already have a stage win from Luc Lamperti in stage 1. Stage 2 was won by Mark Hirschi. Took the overall lead. First pro win for Thomas Gloog of Visma Lease Bike yesterday. Spectacular win. I think every day I've met people in the lift in the hotel. Met Thomas, he introduced himself yesterday. Quite a gentleman of a young man. He was telling me that just under a year ago, it was actually in a cycle track in Girona. There was a junction and he was hit by a car, shattered his right knee cap, and he had a lot of rehabilitation to come back to where he is now. His first race since that accident, and boy oh boy, he's come back in fine style and deserved that victory yesterday. So it's Kasper Asgreen of Soudal Quickstep, former winner of the Tour of Flanders, so it doesn't mind kind of short steep climb. Big powerhouse of a rider, the Danish rider. So I think for the moment anyway, Alaphilippe will sit back and let Kasper Asgreen go along here. You can see the yellow jersey group. No real reaction. And that's actually another group in the roads. And then we have another group, so this race is in 3 pieces. And Kasper Asgreen, he started today over 41 minutes down. And it's Tudor Pro Cycling now sitting at the front. So just turning on to the climb for the first time. There'll be points at the top. Only points in the King of the Mountains. The first time up the climb here in Šternberk. Kasper Asgreen, a strong Dane, almost up. And now hit these riders like a wall this climb. Just over 8% on average, only 900 metres on these cobblestones. And we have to go around this 4 times. So this is it. 3 more times up this climb. Kasper Asgreen coming. I think they'll welcome this rider. So Kasper Asgreen just grimacing there. He'll hope to get across to these three by the top of the climb. Wenzel looking strong, isn't he? The young 21-year-old. He's been setting most of the pace since this original 6-man group split. It will be interesting to see the peloton behind, to see if there's any action. First time up this climb. Still all together. Still a small gap, about 15-20 seconds. The black jerseys of Tudor Pro Cycling towards the front, setting the pace. And it's Kubis that goes on the climb. And Kubis very active in this race so far. He did this yesterday. Got some strong form. This climb goes on and on and on. It is categorised at 900 metres. It seems longer than that. And it will seem longer on these cobblestones. So good job for Michael Schuren. He got himself in the breakaway. More importantly, he got himself 6 points at the top of the second category climb. Only points at the top here. And as we go over the top with the riders in front, mathematically they can't beat him. Kubis, look at him, so strong over the last few days. Last man standing yesterday has the red numbers of the most active rider. And putting some distance between himself and the rest. Kubis, 27 minutes down, so he lost a chunk of time in the circuit of Pistera. But just look at this crowd here, absolutely fabulous. Loving the cycling here in the Czech Republic. Over the top Kubis goes, and luckily the rain has stayed away. Kasper Asgreen, well, he never made it, did he? He just about got on to the 303 in front. Paid for that effort. Aaron Van Pooker just in front. Definitely a crowd favourite this climb. So 3 more times up here. And Kubis is all alone at front. So there we go, Kubis, Wenzel and Van Pooker, which means that Michael Schuren of ATT Investments only has to finish the race and he will be the king of the mountains. Michael Storer just at the back there. Also Balletta of Team Visma Leasebike. Looks like Kasper Asgreen just about to be brought back by the yellow jersey group. But this man here, not interested in waiting for anybody. And it was the same yesterday. That's why he's got those red numbers on. Neutral service on the right hand side coming in this gap. So the gap must be around or even more than 30 seconds. So he did look strong, but unfortunately just didn't have the power on the climb to go with the Slovakian champion. So a difficult circuit here in Šternberk. We're in for a treat. 15 seconds now, back to Wenzel. I would think another 15-20 seconds back to the yellow jersey group. It won't be long until we're back into town, through the finishing line and back onto this climb. Really no rest in this circuit. So quick descents, quite technical. And Kubis alone. He hit the climb with 2 other riders, decided that he wanted to go from distance. I think the question now begs to Soudal Quickstep with the fact that Kasper Asgreen has been brought back. Just got that feeling that Julian Alaphilippe is just sitting and waiting. So into town again, and this way from the other direction. So into the hoardings. Last time he came in from the right hand side. So that was a quick lap. Kubis taking this one on from the front. He's got himself in the original breakaway. They only got about 2.5 minutes maximum. Then coming into Šternberk, we saw a little bit of crosswinds. So over the line he goes. 3 laps to go. 7 kilometres, or just over 7 kilometres for the Slovakian champion. And the sun has come out. We had rain at the start of the day. That is now cleared, thankfully. Wenzo or Lido Trek still holding on to second place. Not that far. He hasn't lost too much time. So let's see what's happening behind in this peloton. And at the back there, Catania still riding on the front. Tudor Pro Cycling. Brunner looks as if he's up for this in the white jersey. The German champion. Hershey definitely there. But I can only think, is it going to be this time up the climb that we're going to see the attack, the swashbuckling attack of Julian Alaphilippe? Will they let him go? Can he hold on to him? No threat in the general classification. Gita just sitting down the back there with Red Bull. Bora Hansgrohe, third place in the general classification. And just looking at the front here. Still Kubis looking behind, just to see where Wenzel is. He's been really impressive, the Slovakian champion, in this year's Czech Tour. Up for the fights, and he's got a big fight on him if he's got to stay away in the last 20 kilometres here. I think the fight for the general classification, and most of the riders on this circuit that have come in here with the lead have done rather well on the stage. So it does suit the kind of punchy climbing type. And the gaps have opened to Mark Hirschi, courtesy of his first and second in the bonuses that he's had. 22 seconds he's got on Diego Alesi, his teammate. And the two of them are in this group. I thought Askren was just about to be brought back, but possibly a lull in the action from the peloton behind, just hanging out there. He went on the attack on this road in the previous lap. Almost got to the front of the race, but he's just kind of hanging out here. Still Tudor Pro Cycling setting the pace. Is this for Brunner or Michael Storer? Surely we're going to see some riders thinking of the general classification. Testing out Hirschi and Ulisi. They don't have any teammates in this group. The white jersey, second from the front, is in fact Brunner. Storer moving up to third place. Ineos have got their young rider Andrew August up towards the front as well. So Kubis doing a terrific job here. Head down, holding off Wenzel. 19 seconds now. And I think the GC contenders, they cannot afford to wait to the final climb. We know what Ulisi and Hirschi are capable of, especially when we get into the last few kilometres. So we turn on to the climb. Kubis led the last time, leading this time. Are we going to see a reaction from the peloton? Are we going to see a GC battle on this climb? I'm pretty sure we will. But there's some riders in this group behind. I'll be thinking more of the stage one. It's a long 900 metres, this climb. Wenzel still hanging out there for Lido Trek, the academy team. He's ridden well in this race, got himself in the breakaway, the under-23 champion of Luxembourg. Actually finished second in the main championship. This stocky rider from Slovakia has been setting the pace. Group behind now onto this climb. You can see Wenzel on the left-hand side. Askren just in front of the peloton now. Stuck in no man's land, these two. So for the moment, in the yellow jersey group, no attacking. I think Kubis just taking the applause from the crowd at the sides. Nice circuit round here, Šternberk. That's why it's been in the race for the last 5 occasions. Always produces a finale of a finish. Are we going to see any movement in the yellow jersey group at the bottom of our picture? Kasper Askren just hanging out in front. Slightly bunching up now. That's Wenzel in the left there. A stalemate in the yellow jersey group. Kubis must be very close to going over the top of the climb now. Alaphilippe is there in second place in the blue. I think for me, just waiting to pounce. And in fact, that's his French teammate Hubi. Alaphilippe just a little bit further back now. Plenty of encouragement for the Slovakian champion as he's in the last couple of 100 metres of this climb, the Slovakian champion. Been a really good effort from him. Appreciated by this spectacular crowd here in Šternberk. Not an easy finish to the Czech Tour, never is. It's not over till it's over in this type of circuit. Nice bottle being given there by Visma Liesebach to the sole leader. Wenzel, well, he hasn't lost too much, 13 seconds. It's like take a huge breath. So now setting up here, Hubi, the French rider, just accelerating over the top there. Here she going with him. So here she, the yellow jersey, being very attentive here. Young German champion in the white jersey, Brenner, going with them. And all alone, still at the front, is Lukas Kubis. No danger in the general classification at over 27 minutes. Wenzel from Lido Trek. Just hanging on second place. Easing up in the peloton behind on this run in towards the finishing line again. Is that DSM Firmenich? Just putting the pressure on at the front now. Bit of looking behind. So into town again for Lukas Kubis, the Slovakian champion. Red numbers, most active rider, and I have to say that He has pretty much been one of the most active riders, if not the active rider in this year's Czech Tour. Wenzel giving up a good fight here. Coming on to this circuit, I think he was riding more than the others at the front, possibly paid for that, just showing maybe a little bit of inexperience. And then the group behind, they're all in one line. So almost 2 laps done here, 2 laps to go for Kubis. Can he dream? Can he think for one moment that he could possibly stay away? Possibly still only has 25 to 30 seconds in the group behind. Not too sure that's going to be enough, but you have to say that he's putting on a top performance here in the centre of Šternberk. Short stage today of 129, and they haven't hung around. The average pace is now back up to 43 kilometres an hour. And it was in fact DSM chasing behind Julius van den Berg by the look of things. So coming on to this circuit, it's all about Soudal Quickstep. So far we've seen Kasper Asgreen go on the attack, he's been brought back. Anton Hubie, French rider, just going over the top of the climb the last time. I think everybody's just waiting for Julian Alaphilippe. I thought it might have been last time, could it be this time? Will there be any reaction behind? Well, this rider's just dreaming at the moment, thinking of his own race. And it's on this flat part that hurts the most. On the descent he can recover a little bit. On the flat part he knows that he has to keep the pressure on, and of course on the climb where it hurts the most. But it's Kasper Asgreen for Soudal Quickstep, already been on the attack, now being called to do his job at the front. There's a lot of teams have missed out in gaining something from this race. So last chance for everybody. That Leknesund for Uno X Mobility up towards the front. He's a rider that came into this with reasonably good form. Julian Alaphilippe choosing to sit a little bit further down the back of this group. So Wenzel is caught, so only one rider in front. Connor Swift moving up for Ineos Grenadiers, and they'll be looking after Andrew August, the 18-year-old American, sitting 7th overall. 103 at the back there is Mark Donovan, the only rider in this group from Q36.5. Again, another rider in the top 10. So 13 seconds it's saying to Lucas Kubis. I think for the second day in a row he'll be given the most active rider, but can he win the stage? That's the thing. So we only have one sole leader, and then we have this group of around 20 riders with Mark Hirschi and Diego Elise. Easy to pick out with the green and yellow jerseys. swing left. This will be the penultimate time up the climb. Another great crowd out here enjoying the Czech Tour. Again, this race growing and growing in the Europe Tour at the 2.1 level, looking to go up into World Tour, attracting stars likes of Mark Hirschi and Julian Alaphilippe. But this is Connor Swift now with August on the wheel. It's just a sense of anticipation. I think we're starting to see an acceleration now at the front of the yellow jersey group. So unfortunately for Kubis, the dream has almost come to an end. It was a valiant effort from the Slovakian champion, but he's just about to be caught now. A glance behind, and it is in fact Visma Leasabike. So it's all coming back together now. So for the first time today, all together. Unfortunately for Kubis, it wasn't meant to be. Riders now being distanced at the back of this group now. Really is thinning out at the front. Is this an attack by August at the front, the young 18-year-old American? And it is. Putting the pressure on at the front. Mark Hirschi up for it. Julian Alaphilippe moves out. Has a glance to the right-hand side. But this isn't an attack. This is just following for the moment anyway. So Andrew August for Ineos Grenadiers. Really putting the hurt on, started today. 7th overall. Hirschi in 2nd place. Alaphilippe for Mark Legnesund. Just looking to see where Alesi is. He's further down this group. Higuita as well, having to react a little bit, being caught out too far back. A very strong effort here from August. For Andrew August for Ineos Grenadiers, really putting the pressure on here. Taking with him Julian Alaphilippe and the race leader, Mark Hirschi. Is Alaphilippe going to go over the top? Can he? Does he have the legs? Then it's Kevin Vermark, Camille Bonneau, Mark Donovan, and it's Legnesund. Rocking and rolling, goes straight over the top now. But where has Diego Alesi? This is Balletta and Milan Veda. So it's all action that time up, and it was Andrew August from Ineos Grenadiers that really set this pace up on the penultimate climb. So Legnesund, August, Hirschi, Alaphilippe, Vermark, looks like Camille Bonneau of Flanders, and Mark Donovan of Q36.5. Nobody putting the pressure on, nobody wants to keep the pressure on. Tudor Pro Cycling missing from this one. Almost the perfect time to have a go, and it is Camille Bonneau of the Flanders racing team. But we have a bit of a regrouping at the back now. Still cannot see. Oh, there he is, Diego Alesi, just in the 3rd group, just coming into the picture now. Looks as if he's got Michael Storer with him. So clearly suffered by the acceleration on that climb by Andrew August, the American. Julian Alaphilippe just in the left-hand side, just watching. Marco Brenner from Tudor Pro Cycling just joins the back in the Best Young Riders competition. Hajek is here for Bora. Legnesund goes again as Diego Alesi in the green jersey at the bottom of the screen just makes contact again with this group. Michael Storer just behind him. About 12 riders now. Just going under the Flamme Rouge now, so less than a kilometre till we cross the finishing line, and there'll be a 1 lap to go. 12 riders leading the race into this final lap. So by the looks of things, the stage winner is here. I cannot really see anybody gaining too much time. So this race is Hirschi's to lose. Urlesi, well, he lost a little bit of time that time up the climb. He's sitting in second place at 22 seconds. So we could see a bit of movement in the general classification, but you have to say the yellow jersey has done a terrific job here. Hit form at the right time. Won the second stage. Second yesterday. And is on track to win this year's Czech Tour. Anton Hubie is at the front here for Soudal Quickstep. A few more riders just making it to the back of this group. Bahrain victorious. I've got one representative just at the back here. So the bell rings. 1 lap to go, just over 7 kilometres. Can Julian Alaphilippe get another stage win for Soudal Quickstep? Can Mark Hirschi finish with a flourish? And just as I said, Bahrain victorious. They only had 1 rider, he got on, and I think doing the right thing. Why wait? Why wait to the climb? This looks like Alberto Brutomesso. It's a rider that did have the Best Young Riders white jersey. And if you were distanced on the previous climb, you have to think that you may get distanced again if there's attack, so why not have a go? And that's what he did. Michael Storer at the back, Marco Brunner, German champion in the white jersey. Everybody just taking a moment just to relax a little bit. Still a danger man in there is Sergio Higuita, the Colombian. Some more riders getting on the back. Visma Lisa Bike. And again looking to do what the Bahrain victorious rider did. Go straight over the top, but it's the German champion Brunner now trying to escape the Best Young Rider. Brunner started the day needing to take back 38 seconds. Then we get a brace of Visma Lisa Bike riders. So Brunner, talented young German rider. This looks like Matthew Brennan of Visma Lisa Bike trying to chase down now. They were distance, came straight through. Bit of a worry now for Mark Hirschi. 10 seconds on the finishing line. But it is the team of Soudal Quickstep. I would think Antoine Hubie, still thinking of Julian Alaphilippe for the stage. But Brenner looking good here. He loves a late attack. Higuita down the back here. Possibly not the place to kind of hang about as we start heading towards the last time up this climb in Šternberk. Brenner, he only has about 5 seconds of an advantage. Good opportunist attack now, but by the looks of things behind, Soudal Quickstep setting things up. I think I've been saying this every lap, just waiting for Julian Alaphilippe to go. He followed, didn't he, August and Hirschi? But every time we see the blue jerseys of Soudal Quickstep sitting at the front of the group behind. And this is also helping UAE Team Emirates with Mark Hirschi. The challenge for the stage. And now we see the team of DSM Firmenich post down now. So Mark Brunner, the best young rider, comes on to the climb now, the German champion. Big effort already, and he may pay for it on the climb. So is this the time for Vermaak? Julian Alaphilippe, and in fact Mert Hirschi moving up. And it's a sit and wait. Brunner almost brought back now. And all back together. Stage one up for grabs. Thinking a little bit too late to test out the riders in the general classification. This really has been a hard Czech Tour. Fabulous final circuit in this final stage. Brunner still hanging out there. Is Julian Alaphilippe just waiting to the final climb? He goes to the front, he puts the pressure on. Here she follows him. Here I say it, the further we get up the climb, the closer we get to the finish. Mark Hirschi looking good for a potential win in that yellow jersey. Following everything. Of course, he doesn't really have to follow Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe down in the general classification. The two-time world champion really putting the pressure on here. Hirschi going with him. I look behind and he'll hope that there's nobody else there. But he's got the yellow jersey. The yellow jersey just cracking a little bit now. Not totally. Alaphilippe trying to go alone here. Just thinking of that stage win. He's got about 300 metres to the top of the climb. But Mark Hirschi trying to stay in the wheel of the former world champion. Is this the stage winning move here? I'm not too sure it is. 2 bike lengths, 3 bike lengths. But Hirschi is fighting. He's fighting all the way. Hirschi looking good for the race overall, but stage win up for grabs here. In the last 100 metres of this climb, and Hirschi's made it up to Julian Alaphilippe. So the two of them will crest the top of the final climb together. But the outcome of the stage up for grabs. Soudal Quickstep have ridden well today, and this is what they're trying to do, put Julian Alaphilippe in with a possible stage win. And will we see these two-star riders? I would say the two-star riders of this year's Czech Tour combining together to help each other. Stage win for Julian Alaphilippe, the second one for Soudal Quickstep, and the race victory overall for Mark Hirschi. A wave of the hands. Will Mark Hirschi contribute? And he does. And he does with an attack. Andrew August, who sets the pace on the penultimate climb for Ineos Grenadiers. He's chasing behind, but you fear that these riders are starting to look at each other. Diego Lacey in this group, he won't contribute to in the group behind. So Hirschi and Alaphilippe leading the way on this tricky descent back into town. And Julian Alaphilippe primed and poised to take the second victory of the 4 days here in the Czech Tour. Just making sure his shoes are tight. He knows he's up against them. I don't think there'll be any gifts here. I think by the looks of things, Hirschi's up for the fight. And the two of them, very similar in the way that they ride here. Very punchy riders. Still a lot of looking behind. Julian Alaphilippe comes to take the front. Hirschi grabs his wheel. And you think if they ride together, then the stage win is theirs. Also in this group, Mark Donovan, the British rider. About 5 riders, including Diego Lacey. But I think it's Alaphilippe's and Hirschi's to lose now. Won't be long until we see the 1 kilometre to go. And by the looks of things, we're going to see a sprint between Alaphilippe and Mark Hirschi for the final stage. Camel Bonneau He's ridden well, hasn't he, for the Flanders Baloise team. We sweep down right, and it won't be long now until they see that Flamme Rouge. Again, tightening up the shoes, looking behind, just making sure that they've got enough. They don't want to make any mistakes. You have to say that Mark Hirschi has ridden tremendously well in this race. Second yesterday, first the day before. It's either going to win this stage or finish second. They're starting to finesse a little bit. They cannot do this. They cannot keep doing this. So no gifts. Both of them going to race it to the end. And they're just about to be caught, aren't they? Just coming on to this final part. And it's Donovan that makes the junction. And it's all important, this left-hand turn. Here she comes to the front, grabs the first place. Round the corner he goes, Alaphilippe on the wheel. Here she opens up. This could be Hirschi with the second stage, but it's Julian Alaphilippe. He's got enough left. Slight uphill to the finishing line, and Julian Alaphilippe wins the fourth stage of the Czech Tour. Mark Hirschi in second place, Sergio Higuita in third place. Wow, what a finish that was. Julian Alaphilippe. Soudal Quickstep takes the second of that team stage. So they bookend the Czech Tour. Well done from both riders. Great effort. But Julian Alaphilippe takes his first win here in the Czech Tour. So Sergio Higuita taking third place there, and he'll also take 4 seconds bonus. So that'll keep him in third overall. Diego Lisi will finish second, but this man here, Mark Hirschi, 3 days in a row, not outside the top two. So a win, a second, a second. So Mark Hirschi wins the general classification of the Czech Tour, 16th edition. 25-year-old Swiss rider from UAE Team Emirates. You could say pretty much dominated this race. Consolation for Kubis there, just winning the sprint for the group behind. Got a fabulous ending to the Czech Tour here. Great crowd in Šternberk. Julian Alaphilippe was one of the star attractions and duly obliged. Waited to the final ascents up the steep climb. Of course, Kasper Asgreen tried to kind of pave the way there. Good teamwork from everybody. As you see, riders still finishing in dribs and drabs. I think the organisers have to be proud now. It's been a really good edition of the Czech Tour this year. Soudal Quickstep bookending the performances. Great win by Thomas Gloag, his first pro win. And of course, Mark Hirschi winning his stage and winning overall. I think you could say that this stage is here to stay. It's been here for the last 5 years. Ben Swift just finishing. I think Mark Hirschi's doing a lap of honour here. He has looked good over the last few days. No gifts in this race. They really kind of fought that out. He fought into the last corner just inside the last 200 metres, but this man here had enough to come over the top of him, had enough strength. They were caught just as they came into the square. It was Mark Donovan that made the junction first. Sergio Higuita just popped out the group behind, taking that third place.
So, congratulations, this is fucking brilliant. I'm so happy. Yes.
Doman Novak congratulating his teammate for a well-deserved win. Quite dominant performance. Just explaining the finish, I think he did try and win, but Julian Alaphilippe was just a little bit too good for him today. So Julian Alaphilippe takes the fourth stage of the Czech Tour. Mark Hirschi in second place, Agita confirmed in third, Donovan in fourth, Vermark in fifth, Urlise in sixth, August in seventh, Bernau in eighth, Brenner in ninth, and Leknesund in 10th. The best of the rest, Hajek and Stora was in that front group. Lamperti, good ride for him in 13th in the group just behind. Pavel Bittner, one of the local hero sprinters, in 16th place. Good result for him. Few riders just missing out. 137 for Dino. Double. May drop off in the general classification. Sun is shining. We had some strong rain. This is the run in towards the finish now. As Mark Donovan made the junction, turned right here. He kind of feared for the riders on this tricky finish, but Alaphilippe just nonchalantly allowing Mark Hirschi to take the front position, going in this corner a little bit hot. I would say that Alaphilippe possibly had a little bit more of the momentum and used that momentum to come past the race leader and take his first ever victory here in the Czech Tour. Higuita, oh, he's been quite quiet throughout this Czech Tour, but manages to get third there, consolidating his third place in the general classification. So a good win for Alaphilippe, former double world champion. The church in the middle of Šternberk here. It's a lovely backdrop, Šternberk, with the castle and the church here. And this was the attack from Julian Alaphilippe. Well, I say attack, he just put the pressure on. Just started to wind it up on this climb. Only the yellow jersey could go with him. And even the yellow jersey lost about 2 or 3 bike lengths. So Julian Alaphilippe definitely on a good day. Big win in the career of Julian Alaphilippe. Let's hear from him.
Congrats, so the mission accomplished. Victory in the final stage. Was the attack planned?
Yes, I'm super happy to take a stage victory after after such a beautiful work of the team all day. All day. I mean, since the half of the stage we control to come closer to the front of the race, and yeah, at the end we start the final laps really tired, and I try to stay calm until the final one, and I'm happy to take the win.
Will it help before the Olympics?
I don't know. For the moment, I hope I will have a good recover, but I think it was a really beautiful race for us with a 2-stage win, and yes, of course, I feel good. I'm happy to take the victory, and I was a bit sick the last few days, and I'm happy I feel better now.
What about the cobbles?
Oh, it was hard, of course, but still not the same cobbles than in Belgium, so I enjoy more here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. The covers in Belgium are harder than the ones in Czech Republic. But I think it was a lovely circuit round here. So, general classification in the 16th edition of the Czech Tour. Victory goes to Mark Hirschi. Diego Alesi, second place. Higuita in third place after his third place today in the stage. For Mark in fourth, Brenner in fifth, Michael Storer in sixth, Andrew August a good seventh place, Mark Donovan in eighth, Camel Bonheur in ninth, and Andries Lichtensund Mats Wenzel 25th there. Good ride by the young man from Luxembourg in the break for the last couple of days. So Mark Hirschi, this is how he won this year's Czech Tour. On a climb to Pechevny, he came past Kevin Vermark to take the victory. Thomas Gloag was on his way to victory, but Mark Hirschi popped into second place on yesterday's stage to Glohe Strani. And Hirschi was in dominant form, finishing second to Julian Alaphilippe today, so not outside the top two. So here he is.
How does it feel to be an overall winner of the Czech Tour and the winner of the GC in almost a year?
It's nice. Today was very stressful, a lot of wind, rain in the start and a very technical final, so I was a bit nervous to lose it because also can happen fast a crash or something. So yeah, I'm super happy to win the GC now, and it's a big achievement for me.
How did you like the circuit?
It's good. It's nice, very nice climb. Luckily, it's no rain. With rain, I think it would be a bit dangerous, but with dry roads, and it was very hectic but nice, beautiful climb.
It was a fantastic fight with Julian. How it happened?
I mean, he went on the climb very strong. I was just able to hang on. Then we went with two in the sprint. I know he's fast. The last corner I went a bit too slow in. He came with speed, and then the end I had no chance. But no, I'm happy to be with Julia. I mean, a very big rider, to be in the final with him is super nice.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think he confirmed what we thought. Just lost a little bit of momentum. Julian Alaphilippe had the momentum in that final corner and used it to his advantage. So points classification, Mark Hirschi, well, no other finishing not outside the top two in the last three stages, takes the sprints jersey here. Alesi in second and Higuita in third. So quite a commanding performance after finishing first, second and second in the last three stages. Julian Alaphilippe moving into fifth place. So another good crowd to watch the finish of a stage of the Czech Tour. The jerseys are ready to be presented. We're not far away from that podium ceremony. So Mark Hirschi, no, not only take the yellow jersey, but also the MND green jersey. So Michael Schuren, as we said out in the course, taking the climb of the day, guaranteeing that King of the Mountains prize for AT&T Investments. So he'll take the Mind Squared polka dot jersey, a jersey that Mark Hirschi never won. Czech fans are out in force. It's been fantastic commentating on the last 4 days. First time in Czech Republic for myself, or Czechia. Definitely will be back. I was actually speaking to yesterday's winner, Thomas Glog, in the lift after the stage yesterday. He was very impressed with the organisation of the race. So looking to go on to better and bigger things. So here in Šternberk, 13,000 inhabitants, rural residents. I know that the crowds have been big, but by the looks of things, everybody's here in Šternberk. Okay, it's Sunday afternoon. The sun is shining. A lovely backdrop to the finish of the 16th edition of the Czech Tour. But I have to say, this looks as if this is the biggest crowd that we've got here. I was saying earlier on, big mix, a lot of female bike riders here. A lot of families out on their bikes. And they certainly have been entertained round this finishing circuit. Some young stars of the future looking on. It's a good show from Julian Alaphilippe and Mark Hirschi. Always a crowd's pleaser is Julian Alaphilippe. He takes his 44th pro victory here in the Czech Tour. His first victory in the Czech Tour. He was up there in the general classification until yesterday. So Soudal Quickstep bookending this year's Czech Tour. First stage win by Lamperti, and now we have former world champion Julian Alaphilippe from France. Huge crowd here in Šternberk in the square. Bouquet of flowers for someone. See a small pump track to the left hand side to entertain the kids or adults playing around as kids.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the overall winners of classification of the Czech Tour 2024. First place goes to number 24, Sergio Iguagas
So third place in the general classification. And third place today goes to Sergio Higuita, riding for Red Bull. Bora Hansgrohe, the Colombian rider.
Na druhém místě celkové klasifikace. Second place, overall classification, number 7, Diego Ulisi, UAE team.
So Italian Diego Ulisi backing up Mark Hirschi, taking second in the general classification. The Italian rider riding for UAE Team Emirates.
Overall classification, number 2, Mark Hirschi.
And no surprise over the last few days, a win in 2 seconds. The 25-year-old Swiss rider Mark Hirschi, one of the stars of this race, coming here and taking his first victory in the Czech Tour. You have to say in dominant style. So Mark Hirschi wins this year's 16th edition of the Czech Tour. Second place, Diego Ulisi. And third place, Sergio Higuita, the Colombian from Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe. So former winner, Diego Ulisi, second this time. Teammate Mark Hirschi winning the race. Sergio Higuita in third place, so that's your podium. You just bear with us for the jerseys. I will see Mark Hirschi again.
Nekončíme, protože sejdeme v tuto chvíli ještě jednou pro vítězného, fenomenálního, žlutého. Předávající zůstávají. Děkujeme za to. Oni, kteří sledovali od první do závěrečné etapy výkony jednotlivých závodníků. Připravte se ještě jednou a za pár okamžiků dodat pořádnou dávku energie muži, který zvládl první, druhou, třetí a čtvrtou etapu. A říkal, že dnes udělá všechno pro to, aby žlutý dres dovezl. Protože žlutý dres, to je opravdu něco, co se propíše do konkrétního podání celé kariéry. Jdeme si vyhlásit celkového vítěze a držitele žlutého dresu. Welcome to the award ceremony for the yellow jersey. Žlutý dres, sponzorovaný společností Saska. Please welcome the rider for the yellow jersey, number 2, Mark Hirschi, UAE Team Emirates.
We've already seen the 1, 2, 3 in the general classification, but this is a presentation of the Saska yellow jersey. So Mark Hirschi, winner of this year's Czech Tour.
skvělí fanoušci. Šampion, tak pojďme ještě jednou. Dámy a pánové, Mark Hirschi! Ano, je to Mark Hirschi!
17 career wins Mark Hirschi has, 25-year-old from Switzerland. The first stage he was 125th. Stage 2 he won, second over the last 2 days. Dominant display here in the Czech Tour.
Děkuji v tuto chvíli našim předávajícím, ale vy prosím vydržte, protože opravdu za pár okamžiků se vracíme. Jsou připraveny další dresy.
So just to clear up, Mark Hirschi also won the green jersey. King of the Mountains with Michael Schuren, and the best young rider Marco Brenner with Martin Volter in the best Czech red jersey. So today started in Šumperk. It was a little bit damp overnight, but it didn't dampen the rider from Slovakia, Kubis, who was on the attack right from the start. Rolled over in the sprint of the day. A little bit of a smile there, and he was on for a good day. 6 riders made today's breakaway. Schuren was there for the King of the Mountains. He duly obliged, took the maximum points in the first climb of the day, securing that competition. As we headed to the finishing laps here, Soudal Quickstep came to the front and started to dominate proceedings, starting to set up the day for a potential one for Julian Alaphilippe. Kubis still in front on these finishing circuits. What could be done behind? Would there be any change in the general classification? But it all came down to the last time up the climb, and it was Julian Alaphilippe, the former world champion. They took with him Hirschi. They did come back together for a sprint, and Julian Alaphilippe obliged.